The bankruptcy of biometrics company 23andMe has raised lots of questions about data privacy and security. What has further caused concern is the controversial sale of the company. Well, joining us is Julien Richard, Vice President of Information Security at Lastwall and a cybersecurity expert with more than 2 decades of experience. Glad to have you with us.
Thank you.
Yeah, you know, the company, it's kind of been plagued by a lot of things. The company lost money after the 2021 IPO, and then there was a huge data breach a couple years later. So 23andMe, though, is still kicking. They're still in business. Is that a good thing? Is that a danger to people who want to have their DNA analyzed and stored with them?
Well, to be honest, I would rather have the company be alive today and putting in more cybersecurity practices than just letting their systems, rot, for lack of a better word, and not keep up with the security best practices. I think that they've done a bit of work since the breach to make sure that systems are still secure or now secure.
Yeah, would you mind catching us up on exactly what that breach all entailed?
Sure. So back in 2023, I think early 2023, threat actors used a very unsophisticated attack. This was not a sophisticated attack. They used combinations of usernames and passwords that they found in previous breaches and basically just tried them. People reuse their password. I mean, I'm a cybersecurity expert, and I'll be honest, I've reused my passwords before, right? And they were able to breach into about 18,000 accounts. Now, 7 million people were affected because of the way that the accounts are linked between siblings and parents and things like that. But they basically just tried a bunch of usernames and passwords, and they were successful.
That's just crazy. What is the risk to having your DNA data exposed?
I mean, I'm far from a biological expert, but if you think about it, your ethnicity, your ancestry, your heritage in today's political climate, I think is something that a lot of people would be worried about having out there. And if the other part is that you can change your password, you can change, I mean, to the extreme, you can change your physical appearance, you can change your date of birth, you can change things like that. But we're not in the point right now, at least not in our generation, that we can change your DNA. It is you, and it's always going to be you. You can't hide away from what's out there.
No, of course. Well, what's raising more concerns is the fact that this company that had filed for Chapter 11 is now being purchased by one of the co-founders, by one of their nonprofits. And that has raised a lot of eyebrows. Why should that be risky?
So there are laws protecting that information. And most of the time with those sales, there's no guarantee that they're going to follow the same privacy policy, that they're going to follow the same cybersecurity, the new cybersecurity controls that they've put in place. And I know that lawmakers are kind of fighting against that at this point in certain states where they're saying it's a sale and you cannot transfer the information because a lot of people didn't opt in. So we'll see what happens.
And for the consumer, what can they do to ensure that they are being proactive about their own information security?
Enable NFA everywhere that you can, multi-factor authentication, which is, sending a code to your phone. I know it's user friction. I know it's annoying, but it does protect you quite a bit. In this case, they would have protected anybody who got breached because they didn't have that code. They only had the username and password. If it was asking for a second step, they would not have been able to breach those accounts. And as a matter of fact, some of those investigations show that no one that had MFA enabled at 23andMe got breached. The other part is don't reuse your password. Even if the site allows you to put password as your password, use a much more complex password than that. Password managers today, they're pretty easy to use. So you can have a unique password, complex password for every site that you use. Those are just basic things that you can do that would have helped you in this case.
Yeah.
And for the organization, again, it's best practices.
Yeah, so let this be a cautionary tale for other organizations to go above and beyond to make sure that their customers' information is stayed safe.
Above and beyond, but at the end of the day, it's what you should do. It's not above and beyond. At this point, it's a baseline. You should just follow that baseline.
Good point, Julien. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate your insight.
I do. Thank you for having me.
We're back after this.